I think John had an underlying jealousy of Bob anyway, because he knew Bob was not as famous as him. He hadn't been, the
Tonight Show and all
Tonight
that
Show, blah
stuff,
blah
right?
blah, but yet was eons funnier than him,
And always will be.
and always
And
will be.
there's no competition there.
And I sold Artie in his mind because
Right.
Artie just said, "Hey, man, I'll come on the road." And then I paid him, and it was like he was making $2,500 with John, and I believe I told him 15,000 for a weekend, and then it was more because we added 2 more shows, and then the money just kept going up and up and up. And
So yeah, so Bob basically showed Artie the light. He's like, this is what you can be making on the road, rather than John, stocking the lineup with comedians. You got DePaulo, Florentine, Modi, Artie, and John, and John takes home the lion's share, and these pros carry all the fucking weight. And so Bob showed him what the world could be like, and it was great.
yeah.
And so that was another factor. Mike, he started in with Mike about what was his thing with you, Mike? He was just like,
That you're nobody. Yeah,
you're
that was-
nobody.
yeah.
He's right about that. But
No,
then
yeah.
he goes, oh, he wrote for Cracked Magazine. First of all, Mike's a accomplished roast writer for some of the biggest comics on earth. Not only that, but Mike's constantly been writing his whole life. He's constantly creating. He's such a muse on the Stern Show with his song parodies throughout the years, would crank them out in a matter of minutes in his laundry room while his marriage fell apart. And so now he has 3 people that he went out of his way to target that didn't even ever speak of him. Like, he constantly sets these traps and then falls into them himself.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like it. And it's been going on. When we first started the Uncle Rico show, he hit us with our first strike. Then a week later, we had another strike. Everything he's done to hurt us has helped us. When he first gave us that first strike, we had to go off of YouTube, and we strictly were on Patreon for a week or 2. And our numbers skyrocketed because it was the only place people could see it.
That's exactly what happened to me, guys. Just so you know, like, I started on Podcast One, and you guys know, man. Shuli, I know I have my enemies in the wrestling business, and they're the wrestling marks.
Yeah,
they don't like Vince Russo because, oh my God, Vince Russo represented entertainment and brought in 8 million people. So they don't like entertainment. They want 30-minute wrestling matches because somewhere along the line they convinced themselves that wrestling is real. Somewhere along the line.
But there's a tie in there with the Stern Show, which is people listening think, I can do this, right? They go, if I was sitting in there, I would say this, I would say that. I know, because I was one of them when I was working shitty construction jobs and all this stuff. So I think there's a lot of similarities there where it's like, I can book better shit than this.
So many similarities, but that's what happened to me, man. I started on Podcast One. Austin got me on Podcast One. Bro, I had one wrestling mark, contact Podcast One. Hey, man, did you know Vince Russo said this, said that? Bro, without investigating, without looking into, they took me off like that. But what happened was, when people saw what happened to me, then I went behind a paid wall. Yeah. And everybody followed because they knew I got screwed. They knew it was bullshit. And, so, man, our stories are very, very similar. And listen, man, I don't talk about them much, but there's a lot of comparisons, man, in me looking at this story between myself and Jim Cornette.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a Jew working construction. Come on. Listen, I didn't say I was good. I didn't say I was good at it.
Did you hold the flag?
If that was my job, I'd still be doing it today. Those fuckers, they gave me tools. They're like, you got to do that. I'm like, what?
What were you constructing? A Ponzi scheme?
Anthony Zenhauser, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it.
No, but yes.
So yeah, he had us on the ropes. Like his goal the whole time was he would look in the camera and go, none of this bothers me. They're losers. They're nobodies. I don't even think about these guys. And then as soon as he signs off, he's sending strikes to YouTube, trying to get us taken down. Carl from WATP, same thing. Tried to get his Patreon down, tried to get his YouTube down. So this guy is not looking to mix it up. You know, we offered him numerous times. I said, John, in a group setting, you're phenomenal. You're so good on the air. In a solo setting, you are terrible, mostly for yourself. It's not.
It's like a tag team thing, where some guys are better at a tag team than by themselves.
Yeah. No, you're right. And he has too much ego to take a step back and go, let me try it. Let's try it and see what happens. Who knows? We've tried this way. I'm the fucking joke of the internet. Why don't we try it that way? And I'm telling you, we could have made it work. We could have done it, because all we do is rip each other apart on here and have a blast. And that's what we learned from, was the greatest era of Stern ever. The organic, in the moment, on the fly bits, stories. Jackie would bring something up, the news would get derailed for 45 minutes to bust Jackie's balls. Like that to me is my favorite and the hardest type of comedy to do, in that moment. So he never even wanted to try it. We always were like, we're like the guy that's holding the little kid's head and while he's swinging at him, like we're not looking to fight with him. We're not looking to ruin his livelihood. But he takes the slightest infraction as, the be all end all, Oh, he turned on me. He goes, he turned on me.
Yeah,
no,
sounds like he turned on me.
Yeah, he just had a criticism about you. That's perfectly natural. You're in the public spotlight. You should be able to hear what people are saying. If it sucks, it sucks. I get it. I'm not a fan of every negative comment, but sometimes there's some truth in it, Yeah,
you're online and social media. There's going to be some criticism.
Yeah.
Well, here's go ahead, Shuli.
Howard called it over 20 years ago. John is not funny unless Howard, Fred, or Jackie write for him. I don't even think it's writing for him. He wasn't coming in there with a script. He was just letting somebody lead, and he was being a guest on the Howard Stern show. He was being a part of the Howard Stern show.
You know what though? Like let's though. However, Shuli, I started watching Stern in '83.
Yeah, you're
so
OG.
I mean, like at the WNBC. I mean, I started watching Stern. You gotta give the guy during that era. You gotta give credit where credit is due, because, bro, to do what he did, you had to have a set of balls. I mean, literally, bro, you had. I don't care who wrote the question. I don't care if 25 people wrote the questions. He was out there asking those questions, bro. Of course, you had to have a set of balls to do that.
Not only that, he was great at it. And my favorite thing about John in that time frame was when somebody was getting their balls busted, when somebody was getting goofed on, that laugh coming out of John would always make me laugh so hard when you would just hear that, and it's just bellowing and like you can visually see him pointing and laughing at somebody. And I thought he was phenomenal at that, But a lot of people, bro, this is Vince, bro. Get used to it. It ain't gonna stop.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I have a conspiracy theory. Every time we have a conspiracy theory on my show, I hold on, I hit this button. So I got to hit this button to feel at home. Okay, I want to ask you guys a serious, legitimate question.
Go ahead.
John is always bragging about his intelligence.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that John is an intelligent human being?
No.
That's unanimous. Unanimous.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Especially now. Especially now.
Well, now Bob just hit on something. Bob just hit on something, because if you look at videos, if you look at his podcast from a year ago, okay, it's a completely different human being as far as how he is communicating. Okay, he's completely different. He has.
Let's see.
That's current. So he has abused things. He's not taking care of himself. He's big drinker, and I think that it's just a matter of time. How many people we know? I mean, fuck, you're in the wrestling business. We used to tour with the Sheik. An appetizer for him was a fucking case of fucking beer.
Yeah,
I watched him and Honky Tonk fucking polish off 3 cases of fucking beer in the green room.
That was fun.
But it completely changes the human being. Then I'd watch Sheik beat the shit out of his manager, and go, you are half and half. He would scream, I am a real man. You are half and half.
And this was at like a Denny's or some kind of breakfast place.
God.
This happened.
I've always said I walked in the lobby after the show and I hear Sheik screaming from around the corner, and then I hear this smack. And then his former manager, Eric Sims, comes around the corner. His glasses are like this. We go, because I'm leaving. Because I'm out of here. I'm leaving. It's unbelievable. But yeah, no, there's no way. Look, he claims his IQ is 160. Okay. Einstein, I believe, was 165 or 160.
63, maybe.
Yeah, listen.
Round it off.
There's no way that this guy who keeps, as Carl would say, stepping on the rake, right? There's no way that IQ is accurate, because if he was that smart, he would have never come back to the show, I think. Hey, guys, thanks for watching that clip. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, don't care. But I do want to tell you, if you want to support, hit the join button down below. Get in there. Be a member. Check out the archives. There's a lot of great stuff. Enjoy the Shuli Network. What a horrible name.